Under Damien Zane, no side from the northern New South Wales region has stood in the Edgeworth Eagles' path. Played 12 and won 12. It's an impressive record. Tonight they take on the Maitland Magpies, the same side that almost knocked them out of the semi-finals in 2016. But for Maitland, their best and their worst are poles apart. Will we see the side that towed up Broadmeadow Magic 7-0 in round 9? Or the side that was dismal against Adamstown in a 3-1 defeat in round 11. It remains to be seen which Maitland outfit will turn up tonight. Perfect night for football here at the Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. Damien Smith is with me in commentary tonight. And Damien, wow, this should be a cracking contest.
Definitely, but you know what? This is a perfect night for football. Light little dew on the ground. The ball's going to skid off the synthetic surface. I think that's going to suit Edgeworth to a T. Edgeworth at the moment's got the momentum. They've defeated Hamilton and Lambton Jaffers, two of the top two sides in the local NPL. To get to this point, for me, they're going to be hard to stop today. Like you said, Maitland, bit of momentum shuffling around there. Sometimes they're on, sometimes they're off. But yeah, for me, I think Edgeworth's going to be hard to beat tonight.
The big news for Maitland is Matt Thompson. He is into the side. He didn't play on Saturday against Byron Bay, so a big inclusion for them. It has been a little rainy today. There is some slight rain falling, so that'll help the synthetic pitch. Smudge, do you want to just check it out with your key? How hard is the pitch here this evening?
The key only goes in about 5 millimetres, so it is quite firm.
Yep, firm surface.
However, there's nice dew on the pitch. The ball's going to skid. That's going to suit Edgeworth with their quick passing game. And you know, the other thing is, it's all about balls in the feet, not balls ahead of the players tonight. Balls in the feet will win the game.
So Westfield FFA Cup live, free and on Bar TV. We're going to run through the sides in just a sec. We'll be back with you in a minute. All right, we will just run through the starting lineups. For Edgeworth, in goals is number 20, Nate Cavalier. 2, Daniel McBreen. 3, Don Bazari. 4, Pat Wheeler. 5, Aidan Bryce. 9, Brodie Taylor. 10, Kieran Sanders, who scored that stunning goal in their win over Lambton on Saturday. 11, Dylan Holtz, who also scored in that match. 13, Adam Corley. 15, Josh Evans. And number 19, Aaron McLaughlin. On the bench is 6, Lockie Pasquale. 12, Aidan Gardner. 8, Sam Maxwell. 17, Kiego Moriyasu. And the backup goalkeeper, Josh Lowe, in number 1. So for Maitland, their goalkeeper is number 1, Matt Trott. 3, Liam Thornton. 5, his brother, Carl Thornton. 6, Ryan Broadley. 7, the speedster, Matt Comerford. 8, Matt Thompson back into the side. 11, Jai McKellar. 12, Zach Hill. 14, Shane Cansdale Sheriff, and number 21, Josh Dutton Black, along with 16, James Tassel. On the bench for Maitland is 2, Jordan Elphick, 9, Ben Martin, 13 is Sam Rossi, 20, Luke Jennings, and number 17, Lachlan Yates. We see the sides out on the pitch. Maitland haven't beaten Edgeworth in 19 matches. That dates back to 1997. That's as far back as the records go.
Wow.
I
didn't realise that, Bart.
19 matches since Maitland last got the job done against Edgeworth.
And for me, I think it's going to be a difficult task for Maitland again tonight. The thing is, Edgeworth love this surface, don't they, Bart? I think they're undefeated on this surface. It's a nice short passing game, and it's quick as well. So that suits them to a T.
Well, the stats would agree with you. They haven't played and lost a round 6 or 7 FFA Cup match here at the regional football facility. Every year they play round 6 and 7 here. Edgeworth haven't lost. The only year they were knocked out of the FFA Cup before the nationwide stage was in 2014. They were knocked out in round 4 against Broadmeadow Magic. 2-0. So that was not under Damien Zane. That was under Gary Wilson, I believe it was, that year, 2014.
Yeah, talking to Damien Zane at the start of the season, he said their priority this year is making the round of 32 of the FFA Cup. So today is a massive game for their club. But also Maitland. FFA Cup's about putting local teams on the national stage. So
exactly, and they've never made it through. No side from the Hunter Valley has done so. Our referee tonight is Stephen Laurie. And Matt Thompson in the headgear. He had some cancers cut out of his head last week, and that is protecting him. So he is going to be in the headgear tonight as Maitland get us underway.
Yeah, and looking at Matt Thompson, looks like he's playing in a more forward role. Probably looking at the number 10 in a 4-2-3-1, which in a way is less collisions, less sort of bumps and bruises sort of thing. So they'll try and protect Matt Thompson a little bit tonight. Obviously, they've got a big NPL season to come as well with 8 games to go.
And they're sitting 5th at the moment, so they'll need to get a wriggle on at the back end of the season, but that'll be at the far end of their heads this evening. Maitland, they won't be thinking about that one as Don Bazari goes into McBreen, turns it over, and Maitland have a chance really to put some pressure on the Eagles through the speed of Matt Comerford.
Yeah, Matt comes at any time again. He'll probably lay out to the left to Matt Thompson. He was free on that left-hand side there, but
is there a worry for Edgeworth tonight, Smudge, that they've won the tough matches? We've mentioned they've had such a tough run up to this point. They played Olympic in round 5 and won 4-2. Currently 4th in the NPL, and they played the Jaffers, who are currently 1st on Saturday, and got the job done 5-0 against them. So is there a worry that Maitland are probably the weakest side they've played of those 3, and they sort of just let their guard down?
Yeah, I don't think so. Edgeworth are a very professional outfit, and Zane will make sure they're fully equipped for the game today. Maitland's going to be a tough challenge for them because Maitland are a physical side. So if Maitland can really bump Edgeworth off the ball, be a bit more physical, it might sort of disrupt them a little bit and disrupt their flow of their natural game.
So James Tassel with the throw for Maitland, playing it right back for them this evening. One of his first outings in the Magpies colours. Comerford whips it in. They've got a bit of a breeze tonight, Smudge.
Yeah, it just sort of came up then, didn't it, Bart, when he went across the ball. It was nice and still out in the field when we were doing the preamble at the start of the game, but yeah, the breeze just sort of picked up just then.
It's about 15 kilometres an hour from the south here at Spears Point at Lake Macquarie.
And it's good to see Matt Comerford back. He's been out injured with fractured ribs.
And his twin speedster on the other flank, Ryan Clark, he's out of the side.
Yeah, with fractured ribs as well.
For a few weeks, yeah. So
yeah, I think Matty might have been fractured toe, Matty Comerford.
Yeah, so those two, when they get both of them back on the park, Maitland will be much stronger for it. We saw it last season. They played Edgeworth in the semi-final series. They had a draw in the first encounter, the first leg of the semi-final, and then Edgeworth got the job done 2-1 in the second leg, a late goal from Kigo Moriyasu.
Yeah, for viewers around the nation, Maitland didn't play their first game of the season until round 5 this year because of all the wet weather and the washout. So they had to play 9 games in 31 days, which was a hectic schedule. And they've done quite well out of that. However, they've just sort of
struggled the last few weeks.
Last few weeks they've just struggled a little bit. So they've just dropped their momentum a little bit. And that's why they're back in 5th spot.
And they beat Broadmeadow Magic, who, of course, got through to the round of 32, the nationwide round of 32 for the 3rd time in 4 seasons, a record for a Northern New South Wales club, but Maitland towed them up in round 9, 7-0 it was. Matt Thompson scored 4.
Yeah, congratulations to Broadmeadow Magic, but also congratulations to Coffs Harbour.
Kieran Sanders curls this one in, trot. Puts a hand to it, I think, and off Brodie Taylor for a Maitland goal kick. He's been impressive since he's come to the club. Matt Trott, former Mariners goalkeeper, the backup to Danny Vukovic in the 2009 A-League Grand Final when the Newcastle Jets won That one 1-0. Mark Bridge.
He was outstanding this year
with the goal.
You're just going back on the other round 7 match between Broadmeadow Magic and Coffs City Tigers.
Lions.
Lions. That was a great game, and congratulations to Coffs Harbour. They were a superb, formidable outfit they were. And to Glenn Williams and Willow, the defensive structure was top-notch.
Well, Maitland had a very tough battle as well on Saturday evening against Byron Bay. They were taken to extra time, and it took a calamitous third goal for Maitland to get the job done in that one, an own goal in 110th minute. As Josh Evans moves forward and finds Kieran Sanders. Back for Bryce, who scored from the penalty spot against Lambton on Saturday. It was a game of 2 halves, that one.
Nice.
Nil all at half time, and 5 goals later in the second half. Edgeworth were through as this one cut back, and Comerford on the ball after Maitland got it back. Do you think Maitland maybe were a little complacent in that match against Byron Bay? Obviously they'll know what they're in for tonight, but a lot of people expected them to towel up Byron Bay.
Yeah, Byron Bay was the unknown. Talking to Phil Dando beforehand, they were unsure what to expect. They were a big side, weren't they? Big physical side, Byron Bay.
A few English backpackers as well.
Yeah, they were impressive. So Maitland had a few out that game, but they're back tonight.
Dylan Holtz just steps on the ball. And recovers and finds Aidan Bryce. Daniel McBrain back for Bazari, who surges down the middle and finds Adam Corley. On the angle, he cuts it across, and Matt Trott, a good save.
That's what I was talking at the start of the show about their ball movement, their short passes, and their forward runs off the ball. Edgeworth, that's where they're very dangerous.
And they're going to have to be good to break through Matt Trott's defences this evening.
And you'll notice Edgeworth rotate their midfielders really well. They're in and out, which is hard to defend.
So both sides just in the feeling out phase. 6 minutes gone. We mentioned Maitland's run. They played against Warners Bay in the earlier rounds. In round 4, they got the job done 8-1 there against the Zone Premier League side. 3-2, they beat Western up at Cook Square Park in the El Clasico, it was called, between the two Coalfields clubs. And they won 3-2, but Western had a chance to level that one up late. And then in their last match, another 3-2 win, that one in extra time. For Edgeworth, they had a much harder journey after their round 4 match. They towed up Bell Swans 9-0, but that was as easy as it got for the Eagles. They had Hamilton Olympic in round 5, and they won that 4-2. It was a really topsy-turvy match, that one. Edgeworth always seemed to have it in the bag, but Hamilton never went away. And then on the weekend, 0-0 at half-time against Lambton, 5-0 at full-time. A real shock. So it's Josh Dutton-Black, another English import. There's a few out there, and this one curled in. Brodie Taylor just whips it up, looking for Edgeworth's Englishman in Kieran Sanders. And Matt Comerford steps infield, but Daniel McBrain quickly onto the ball. It's a key for Edgeworth tonight, the experienced striker, isn't he?
Yeah, McBrain playing more at the point of the diamond midfield for Edgeworth. Sometimes he plays up in the top as a 9 in a 4-3-3. However, Zane has reverted to a 4-4-2 tonight, which they reverted to against Lambton on Saturday, and it worked very well for him.
He likes to change his side around Damien Zane. Not too often that you see him play a similar side 2 matches in a row. Basari looks through for Sanders, and then McBrain. Under for Corley. Just puts a little toe on it, and it's a little too heavy.
And again, this is where Edgeworth's good. They're little short passes in the midfield, then get it wide nice and early. Maitland just need to be a little bit careful. Just need to put a bit more pressure on the ball in the midfield. Don't need to dive in. If they dive in, the Edgeworth player will turn you, link up with their strikers, and then they're in trouble.
It is an unchanged Edgeworth side than to the one we saw on Saturday against Lambton, which is rare for Damien Zane, isn't it? 2 matches in a row, I should say.
Yeah, Zane plays horses for courses.
And this one over the top. And it'll trickle over the byline for another Maitland corner kick. Ryan Broadley doing well there.
Yeah, Damien Zane will adapt his side to whoever he's playing. For me, in Newlambton's lineup and what they would play, so therefore he'd probably like to use the width and get in behind their 2 wing-backs because they play a 3-5-2.
Here's Dutton Black curling it in. Cavalier did very well, as it was going to curl in towards the back post. He got a fist to it. It will be another corner.
Just on Cavalier, he's been outstanding this year. 6 clean sheets.
8 if you include the FFA Cup matches. 6 in the league. 8 in the FFA Cup. There's Cavalier again.
Only considered 8 goals in the NPL after, 13 games?
Yep.
Sorry, 12
games.
12 games.
Not a bad record in the FFA Cup. He's only conceded 2. Both from the head of Hamilton Olympic striker Scott Smith. Matt Thompson looks to get it free. Zach Hill. Goes to Comerford. It's right under that one, Matt Comerford. Headed back across the face towards Broadley. And Maitland almost scramble at home. There's Ryan Broadley in the centre, and Matt Thompson just can't keep his shot down with the headgear on. It'd be a different feel as this ball has trickled down into the drain. I thought it was going to duck over onto the road, but it must be just tough for Matt Thompson to adapt with the headgear on.
Yeah, I was talking to Reece Thompson this afternoon, just talking about the game and about the possible lineup and how Matt Thompson is, and he said he was at the shops trying to buy headgear this afternoon, so he warmed up in it. He said it felt okay.
Zari across to Evans. Chips it down the line. And Hayden Bryce, unfortunately for him, it's come back off him and over for another goal kick.
And again, playing with that the 4-4-2 with the diamond, Zane likes to get the overlapping fullbacks high and wide, nice and early. Hayden Bryce trying to get him out wide on the right-hand side then. It's a key for them, I think.
Magpies have only lost 1 match of 7 away from Cook Square Park in 2017. A very good side away from home. They struggle at Cook Square Park. It does get very, very windy up there. Another corner for them.
Just one thing I've noticed early on, Maitland, when they transition from defence to attack, it's quite quick and with numbers. That's where Edgeworth just need to be careful, because Edgeworth like to play a little bit, then slowly push numbers forward, and sometimes they get a little bit thin at the back. And Phil Dano's probably recognised that, so when they transition quick with numbers.
There's nil-all. Is this one curled over a little too deep, that one from Dutton Black.
And that was experience of Daniel McBreen, just jumping with the Maitland striker, just to nudge him a little bit, let it go over their heads and go out for a goal kick.
Yeah, round 5, when these two sides met at Jack McLaughlin Oval, it was a 0-all draw. Neither side could break the deadlock. Edgeworth had claims for a goal, which on review was not offside, that Brodie Taylor headed home. But finished 0-0 on that occasion. Edgeworth probably with the better of the chances. You've got to put them away. 12.5 gone. That's Edgeworth and Maitland at 0-0, and you'd probably say Maitland just shading it early on.
Yeah, I think it's pretty even early on. Both sides have been into the attacking penalty area, probably of equal number of times, so pretty even for me at the moment.
Matt Thompson sends Comerford down the right edge. It may be a little quick. He cuts it back to Cavalier, but that's what we're talking about, Smudge, in terms of those through balls. They run very, very rapidly off this surface.
Yeah, the ball has to be in defeat or just slightly in front, but it has to be well weighted so the player can go run onto it.
As Pat Wheeler pushes up for Edgeworth. Pinpoint pass to Daniel McBreen. Steps and sends it to Holtz. Lovely ball movement again from the Eagles, but McBreen's touch a little misguided.
And that's what McBreen does well. He finds little pockets in the middle of the park, little bits of space. He can turn and link up with the strikers or the wide players. So obviously Edgeworth playing with a really tight diamond. Maitland playing a 4-3-3. So it's 4v3 in the centre of the park. So either one of the Maitland's wide players has to tuck in a little bit.
Just to even up that midfield contest.
Yeah. And Edgeworth like it nice and tight, especially on this surface. A few passes there, then they get it wide nice and quick and try and get the overlap.
was those wide areas where they found space against Lambton. That first goal,
yeah,
prime example of that.
Yeah, Lambton playing with wing-backs, 3-5-2, so you got the ability there to find that space in behind.
Daniel McBreen just caught offside, and Maitland not taking any time with the resumption. And Tassel plays infield for Thompson. He's looking for Comerford, and that one, look at the run on that.
Comerford had the right idea. He sort of tucked inside to look for the short ball off Thompson because there was space in there, and then he could link up with Jai McKellar at the front. But the ball just sort of went beyond him.
Aaron McLaughlin scored in the nationwide round of 32 last year for Edgeworth, number 19, against the Brisbane, against the Far North Queensland heat, I should say. Chipping forward, looking for Jai McKellar, who sends Matt Thompson through the middle. He found some space. Maitland appealing for a penalty, thinking Matt Thompson illegally bumped off the ball there.
Yeah, it's probably nudged, but would be tough to call the penalty from my liking.
If he goes to ground, there's probably more chance, but I don't think Matt Thompson would have wanted to go to ground on this turf. Get some carpet burns out there, Smudge.
Yeah, the Coffs Harbour versus Cardiff Tigers game in round
Taylor.
Round 6, there were slide tackles everywhere, so there would have been many carpet burns.
Would you be sliding in out there?
Not at all. I think I was saying before, when I was down the Institute looking at this video many, many years ago, they were saying, we're looking at some World Cup games and saying that, you just need to put pressure on the ball, allow the opposition to play the ball backwards. They'll end up losing the ball. Provided you put pressure on the ball, you don't need to make a challenge.
It's really a last-ditch thing, isn't it?
A last-ditch thing, yeah. As long as you put pressure on the ball, show them whatever way you want them to show them.
It's Don Bazzari. Sprays it wide for McLaughlin. Has to whip it in, and Tassel gets a boot to it.
And we always talk about width, Bart, and Edgeworth do it perfectly well. They stick right on the white line, out wide.
And Smudge just looking around. A really good crowd in for tonight's match. Some emerging Jets training on the far field and five-a-side competition on, so people hanging around to have a look at this final Westfield FFA Cup match in the northern New South Wales region until the round of 32.
It's well played by Edgeworth.
And it goes for Taylor and chipped back in by Bryce. Dealt with all right, and Matt Trott.
What a save.
Diving low to his left, and Maitland just struggling to deal with the ball there as it was bobbling around in the box.
Great strike by Sanders. Left foot volley. Matt Trott, that's a high-quality save.
And here's a chance all of a sudden for Jai McKellar. Look at the bounce on that ball. Cavalier quickly out to Aidan Bryce. Looks central for Bazzari. There's some space for Edgeworth in the midfield. They go wide for Holtz. Now to Taylor. Lovely movement from the Eagles. Cuts it in straight to Matt Trott. That has some.
And see the numbers Edgeworth get forward. They bomb forward when they're on the attack. They had 3 bombing in the 18-yard box. The delivery was just too close to the goalkeeper.
Edgeworth just starting to get a little bit of ascendancy here as Bazzari to Sanders, who is just offside. It wouldn't have been much.
Yeah, Sanders likes to play right on that full-back line. Gets offside quite regularly, however, you don't mind that because he plays right on the line. If he gets the opportunity, then he's away.
Spoke about Maitland having only lost 1 of their last 7 away from home. Well, Edgeworth have only lost 1 of their last 12 anywhere in all competitions. Maitland with the free kick here. That loss was to Lambton Jaffers back in the last round of the NPL in round 13. They're on a 9-match undefeated run before that. Tansdale Sheriff calling it in. Cross to Thompson. It'll just be a little heavy through to Cavalier. Wheeler pushing forward to McBride.
They do it very well, Edgeworth. They play through the centre, get it back out wide. It sucks the defence in, then they get it nice and wide, nice and early. Trying to create an overlap.
Hayden Price back for Evans. He dodges past a couple. He's a run from Josh Evans, but as a defender, his shot let him down there. Maitland with the free kick. Carl Thornton just brought to ground.
Beautiful night for football, Bart.
Perfect. It was a
beautiful night, yeah.
little bit of rain before kickoff. There's only a few spits and here and there. Perfect out there now. Not too cold, not too hot, just right.
And like I said, we said the pitch is a little bit dewy, so the ball's running on a little bit, which is great for football.
We tick over the 20-minute mark. Kieran Sanders goes wide for McLaughlin. He curled it in. Great chance for Edgeworth now. Sits up for Bryce across the face, and
Adam
Maitland
Corley.
get it clear.
He was unlucky, Adam Corley.
Hansdale Sheriff at the back, cleaning up for Maitland.
It's all two-touch for Edgeworth. They get a touch and play. A lot of 1-2 touches, which they get the ball moving quick.
Here's McLaughlin. He's been a threat down the left, and Corley. The surface suits Adam Corley perfectly. McLaughlin cutting it in again. Maitland win themselves the goal kick out of all of that. Currently 5th in the NPL, Northern New South Wales, Maitland. 5 wins, 2 draws and 4 defeats.
Unfortunately, we haven't got Chris Turner here today, Bart, to tell his really bad dad jokes.
Yes, I hope Chris is doing well. Kick forward for Pat Wheeler. Should be back for Saturday's match, the match of the round at Valentine. Valentine up against Broadmeadow Magic this week in the NPL Northern New South Wales on Saturday.
Yeah, massive game for both sides.
Magic to get themselves back in the finals hunt, and Valentine to end Magic's hopes and probably ensure that they're going to be playing in August and September, hopefully for them.
And again, Matt Thompson trying to slide the ball through the fence. You need to go feet. Keep the ball to the feet. Edgeworth's doing it quite well. Ball into feet.
I'm just thinking, Matt Thompson started at Maitland, his career at Maitland in 2015, former Jets captain, as Taylor has find some space down the left, and I don't know how many matches he would have played on this surface. In 2015, they lost in round 4 to Charlestown. Only played 2 matches, 3-2. So I doubt he would have played too often on this surface. So
and he didn't play on Saturday either, so this might be his first run.
It'll just take a little while to get used to it for Matt Thompson. It's Bizzari. Towards the back post, and Thornton potentially may have got a hand to it. Corley. And Thornton wide for Dutton Black.
Yeah, with the surface, you can have the ball, but sometimes it sticks under your feet, other times it skids on, so you need to get used to it.
And Edgeworth have definitely done so. 12 out of 12 under Damien Zane in the FFA Cup.
And I'm pretty sure they've trained out here a few times as well.
That's in the Northern New South Wales period of the FFA Cup. In the nationwide stage, they've played 3, won 1 and lost 2. With the 2 losses, well, against Melbourne City and Western Sydney Wanderers, you wouldn't be too disappointed with that, would you? Your 2 losses out of 3 in the FFA Cup were against A-League opposition, and they probably could have had an extra time. Could have gone to extra time against Melbourne City. Aaron Moy scoring a free kick in the last minute.
And now he's playing for Australia tonight versus Brazil.
Playing against Brazil tonight from 8 o'clock, I think. 8:05 the kickoff, so maybe you can have 2 screens tonight. Put this on your iPad and put the Australian Brazil friendly on the TV. It's the throw in field. Sanders allowed some room there. Maitland too well to get it out of their own defensive third, and they'll win the free kick there. Probably a good foul just to break the attack down for Edgeworth.
I agree, that was a great foul. Great professional foul because Maitland were on the attack then, and they'll get numbers forward.
And no booking either. That's probably the perfect foul as Tassel, that one over hit and over the line. There he is, Matt Thompson with the headgear on. Probably going to say the first time he's ever played in headgear. It's Kieran Sanders. Look at that. 2 and 3 around him, and he beats them all. And then he threads a pass over the top for Brodie Taylor.
Kieran Sanders has been superb in the local NPL, especially over the past month or so, because he was suspended for the first 3 or 4 games due to his previous club up North Queensland.
And there was some issue up there with the end of the NPL season last year, Far North Queensland Heat.
Yeah, but he scored an absolutely brilliant goal on Saturday against Lambton.
I'm trying to think of a goal he has scored this season that wasn't quality. He scored 4 in the FFA Cup. That's where he's come to life. He's only scored 1 in the NPL. That was a bomb in itself. Here's McBrain, and Matt Trott quickly to his left, and Daniel McBrain probably would have been hoping he could angle it into the corner a little bit more. It was sort of down the middle.
It was on his least favoured foot, the right, but he did well. Good contact. However, Trott was just too good to save. He did very well, Trott. But just again.
Here's McBrain again. Trying to find Sanders, but overhit.
And what Edgeworth do very well, link up, small little passes in the centre, and then they get a forward run, which McBrain came from deep. Forward run beyond the back 4, which allowed him one-on-one with Trott, and that was a great save by Trott again. So looking at chance-wise, Edgeworth had 2 really good chances.
And Maitland, you could probably say 1. It was just a boot of Aaron McLaughlin that prevented Maitland from scoring earlier.
Maitland's been in their 18-yard box and put a lot of pressure, but they haven't had that real clear-cut chance which Edgeworth's had.
He was just bobbling around in the box, and McLaughlin got a boot to it just to clear it out of danger. And Jai McKellar down this near flank. Keeps it in. No, he hasn't. Over the byline. He's their leading scorer in the FFA Cup, Jai McKellar. Yet to score in the NPL, but 3 in the FFA Cup.
He was very lively, Jai McKellar.
He's been predominantly coming off the bench earlier in the season in the FFA Cup. In the NPL, I should say, but with the injuries, he's come into the starting side.
And we've seen him more in a wide sort of role, haven't we? So playing more central today.
Came through the Jets youth system, did McKellar as Sanders. He can do anything. It sits back up for Corley. Adam Corley with 4 goals in his last 3 matches for Edgeworth. And this surface suits him to a T.
Oh, yeah, great finish. But that was Sanders again. He's very patient on the ball, even in the box when there's pressure on him. He had a few defenders around him. Look, they come to close him. He just holds it. Lucky deflection.
Well, Damien Zane says this surface is perfect for Adam Corley. He would have played a lot on it with the emerging Jets and the Jets youth.
But just there, you see Sanders having the ball. Then 3 Maitland defenders went towards him to close him down and left Corley spare in the 18-yard box, which you can't afford to do. Lucky deflection went to Corley, but he put it away. Well finished.
He scored 2 in his last match in the NPL. This one with Comerford, scored once against Lambton on Saturday and now back on the score sheet again. Comerford takes them on down the middle. And Edgeworth win the free kick. A little frustration from Maitland. He came of age, Adam Corley, you'd say, in that Broadmeadow Magic match.
Yeah, he was superb. Just playing in behind, but what he did really well was make them runs beyond the back 4. The Magic defenders weren't tracking him at all and scored 2 great goals.
It was round 12, that one, and Edgeworth won 3-0 at Magic Park, and it was like men against boys, that match, Smudge, for those that didn't see it. Edgeworth totally dominant.
You mentioned before Maitland beat Magic 7-0. However, the game what Edgy beat Maitland, I thought Edgy totally dominated from start to finish. Could have been a few more.
As here's Holtz from long range. I think it's come off the back of Zach Hill. If it didn't, well, it was heading on goal. Matt Trott would have had some work to do. There's Don Bazzari.
And again.
Now Corley. His confidence is sky high at the moment. The Magpies coming out from the back with Dutton Black. And now McKellar.
That's well played by McKellar. He's under pressure, kept the ball.
And it was Josh Dutton Black stepping inside and winning his side a free kick. We haven't seen him too often this season, Josh Dutton Black, but that match we were talking about, the match against Broadmeadow Magic, he was
very impressive.
Probably one of the best players on the park.
Yeah, he hasn't seen the ball that often tonight, but yeah, against Magic, he was very impressive. In that game, Maitland probably had about 10, 11 chances, scored 7 goals, where when Edgeworth played Magic, they just totally dominated possession, field position, and the scoreboard.
So Shane Cansdell Sheriff, a storied career, former Australian Youth International as he whips that one in. Thompson, don't want to give him that much space. He goes back to Cansdell Sheriff, who just lumps it into the box. Too easy for Daniel McBrain. He's quickly back on the ball. Coaching down at the Central Coast as well. It's Cansdell Sheriff, and Tassel does the clean-up job for the Magpies. Over 30 minutes gone now in the opening half. Edgeworth with the lead. Adam Corley just a few minutes ago. With another goal for the Eagles. Damien Zane saying he feels that he could be a player that scores 10 goals a year for Edgeworth in the coming seasons.
Adam Corley.
Yep.
The other thing with Adam Corley is technically very good, but he's very busy. Busy in defence, busy in attack. He's always looking to make runs into space. Where some players just stay a bit... don't really move that often. And a bit stagnant, where he's always moving, trying to get his body into space. Oh.
It's that agility and speed of youth, isn't it, Smudge? And a small body as well.
Yeah, that's right. But it's also it's just awareness of his body position, of how the game's going. He just always tends to find space, but he's always moving. He finds those little pockets. What we're saying, like if you look at him here,
and how much would have that time at the Jets Youth helped him to develop that as this ball back to Trott? Get out of danger.
I was about to say that. I was about to say that. His time at the Jets Youth, that's where he would have learnt training, 5 times a week. Having quality coaches at the Jets Youth, obviously. And with Damien Zane, yeah, and his cousin Damien Zane at the moment at Edgeworth. Even now, he's starting to move into space. If you look at him, well, you can't see on screen here, but he's got himself in a nice little pocket.
There he is. No one around him either.
Yeah, it's just his awareness. He just knows where to be. He's busy.
As Thornton chips it forward. McBrain. Gee, I tell you what, Daniel McBrain, he's doing a lot of work up and down the pitch.
Yeah, well, he's got the number 2 on, so number 2's a defender normally, so...
He loves the number 2, doesn't he?
Yeah, he sure does.
North Queensland Fury, Perth Glory, Central Coast Mariners in the A-League. 28 goals, and also played in Shanghai and for South China in Hong Kong most recently before coming to Edgeworth last season. Scoring 2 goals in the FFA Cup, the nationwide stage. And the goal against Western Sydney Wanderers. And didn't the Wanderers fans love that? Daniel McBrain scoring against them. He was talking pre-game about what he would do if he would score against them. And he let the Wanderers fans know about it as well.
Daniel McBrain used to play for Toronto Stags. And in the grand final when he scored the penalty for Arnie against... Central Coast. Was it Sydney? Who did Central Coast play in the grand final?
Against Western Sydney.
Western Sydney, that's right, yeah. So he used the old stag horns. Yeah.
So that's the celebration.
Yeah, the old stag horns, Toronto Stags.
There you go. You heard it first on Bar TV. I think
we all knew. Yeah, we all knew.
I think a few people didn't know what he was, what the celebration was for. So there you go.
Toronto Stags.
The Toronto Stags. They're in the second division at the moment in northern New South Wales, and the New FM actually had a big upset win, not on the weekend, but the weekend before.
Against West Wallsend.
Was against West Wallsend. 4-1. They're struggling a bit this year, the Stags, but they managed to find the back of the net 4 times in that one.
The Stags coach Adam Rutledge was playing with Toronto when Daniel McBreen was there as well, so had a great group of mates, including my brother, Robbie True, Matthew Parker. This goes on.
The connections of Newcastle football as Josh Dutton-Black curls it in, and there he is, Daniel McBreen. Hoofed over the sideline. And Edgeworth have got some dangerous men on the bench. Aidan Gardner had a wonderful season last year, but it's just struggled to get going this year. He scored a couple of goals in the NPL final series last year against Bentley Greens to get them through the quarterfinals there. In extra time, that was a wonderful match of football from the Eagles down there in Victoria before they beat Perth in the semi-finals 1-0. It was that man, Daniel McBreen, the number 2, who scored in that match, and this one curled into Cavalier, and then in the final they went down 4-1 to Sydney United.
I just noticed Maitland here had Matt Thompson in the box. Matt Thompson's not going to head the ball, especially when you've got stitches in his head. So they need to keep the ball nice and low or get someone else in the box for them crosses for headers.
There's Nate Cavalier.
Yeah, he's out.
He's out of his box.
He's out of his box, yeah.
So the flag is up from the assistant referee. So Maitland will get a free kick here. Right on the edge of the box. Cavalier doesn't seem too impressed.
I was watching. I'm pretty sure he was. Well, I was just watching.
And we
Cavalier.
saw that on the weekend as well in a game, Smudge.
Yep,
he is a mile out.
Miles outside. Good call by the linesman. We can see from here. We noticed that.
It's one that's very rarely pulled up.
I think Cavalier does it a little bit as well. Come to think of it. I think he goes right on the line, if not over.
And there was a game, it was the Cardiff Coffs game, actually, the Coffs City Cardiff game on Saturday, where you mentioned it that I think it was Joel Ackers, the Cardiff keeper, just from outside as Thompson with it for a chance to get Maitland back into it, and he didn't miss by much. It blazes over the bar. Have a look at that again. He wasn't going for placement. It was all power. There was some force behind that one.
He has a nice strike by Matt Thompson. Really just need to get that on target because he's close enough with the power.
That would have really hurt Edgeworth as well because Maitland haven't threatened for 25 minutes, I'd say. They were good for the opening 15.
And again, look, Adam Corley.
Here he is,
he
Corley.
finds the pockets.
And now Ryan Broadley. He's barreled over. Thompson, I should say. There's Matt Thompson. Now to Tassel. Takes on Corley. Still with James Tassel. He's going all the way to the byline. Comerford chips it in. Jai McKellar was unmarked. Josh Evans. Don't know if there was a hand. If Maitland were appealing.
It was only a subtle appeal. I didn't really.
It's Carl Thornton, Maitland captain, former captain of Western as well. Now in his second year at Maitland. And the free kick goes the Eagles' way. Just under 7 minutes to go before half-time. Adam Corley, the goal for Edgeworth, and they lead 1-0.
Just going back on that phase just then. Pat Wheeler, superb positional play. Got the intercept, won the foul. He's been immense for Edgeworth this year. He's probably been one of the best defenders in the competition for me.
Actually played with Damien Zane when he was at the Eagles.
Used to be quite mobile for a big man, Damien Zane.
Good striker.
Yeah, he's just a plot around all day. Quite fit for a big fella.
good at holding up
He
the
won't
ball
let me
as well.
say. Yeah,
There's McBrain now to Holtz. Looking for Sanders.
they love them short little passes in the centre. They do 2 or 3 little passes, then they get it wide.
It's James Tassel. It's a nice ball to McKellar. Tassel again, finds McKellar. Thornton. Better ball movement here from the Magpies. Probably their best period of the match.
Yeah, that was well played by the Maggies.
There's Broadley to Comerford, but he just ran straight into 3 and 4 Edgeworth defenders. And now Kieran Sanders with a chance. But Maitland deal with that one through Cairnsdale Sheriff. James Tassel. And Aaron McLaughlin pilots that one high into the sky here at the Regional Football Facility. And I tell you what, on a normal ground, that probably would have sat up for Brodie Taylor.
Great
Speed
ball
on the ground assisting the Magpies there. Corley. They've got too much on that one. It'll stay in field. And Matt Thompson wide for Dutton Black. 40 minutes gone. There's 5 to go before the break, and Dutton Black's touch too heavy there. He was appealing for the free kick. Thought he was impeded. Holtz slides it through for Sanders. Still Kieran Sanders. Well, I'll tell you what, he has.
Reminiscence. Yeah.
He has a beautiful touch, doesn't he? And you could see him just popping that one in the back, inside the back post.
And see his touch. The touch puts him in a forward sort of position, so he can have a strike if he wants to. Reminiscence of the goal against Lambton.
Oh, if you haven't seen that one,
absolutely
check it
brilliant.
out.
Nice touch, then lobs.
Bar TV Sports Facebook page if you want to check that one out. Kieran Sanders' goal against Lambton Jaffers. Wow, that was something special. Came over from the UK, and he has aspirations to go and play in the A-League, Kieran Sanders.
Yeah, he's an impressive player. He reminds me of Warren Spink. You probably don't know who that is.
I don't know who Warren Spink is. All the local audience will, I'm sure.
He's got great centre of gravity. He can turn on a dime. He's sharp, and he can finish.
There's Daniel McBrain. A really big opportunity for Edgeworth now. Sanders, he's got Taylor. He's wanting the ball, but Sanders decides to take them on himself, and he chips it towards the back post. And I tell you what, if he didn't get as much power on it, it's probably a big chance for Edgeworth. This one whipped in again. Tassel with the header away. Thompson toe pokes it out to Dutton Black. And Dutton Black surges through the middle. Pat Wheeler.
And that's where you see Dutton Black at his best. He's cutting inside, taking on players. That's what he did against Magic at that time. They won 7-0. And Edgeworth's very good at that, doing a professional foul, because he would have gained momentum. If he got past the Edgeworth defender, he was going on goal.
He's just having a chat, Stephen Laurie, to Pat Wheeler, just telling him that that's a couple now.
Yeah, it was a smart foul.
The premier referee in the competition at the moment, you'd say, Stephen Laurie?
Yeah, we voted Stephen Laurie as the first round referee of the first round, didn't we?
With some help from Rod Allen as well.
Yep.
Did a great job. Cairnsdale Sheriff. Up goes Cavalier. Oh, he is improving every week, isn't he?
And what Cavalier does well is the simple things. The things what he's supposed to do well, he does very well. He barely makes a mistake.
He was offered the top job by the Lambton Jaffers for this season, but Brad Swancott decided he was going to stay on for another season. And
he's been impressive this year, Brad Swancott.
He has been outstanding, Swancott.
Sure has.
You can't blame them for keeping him on, but Nate Cavalier has got his opportunity at Edgeworth, and he hasn't taken a backward step.
Oh.
John McKellar. He can release Comerford, a big opportunity for Maitland, but he is wide. Cuts it across, Cavalier again.
Yeah, John McKellar, the ball just went a bit too wide for Comerford. He was a bit straighter, he was on.
That's what we're talking about, those balls. Bit too much pace on the pitch.
It's all about the weight of the ball on this pitch. It sort of skidded out a little bit wide and made it a bit difficult for Comerford.
Inside the final 90 seconds. Here at the Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. surging into the box, and Edgeworth defend the situation well again. They go forward through Sanders. Steps away from Cansdale Sheriff, and he's turning him inside and out. Here's Kieran Sanders. Weaving a spell around this Maitland defence. That trot very assured at the near post. They look central, but line broadly. 11 seasons at Maitland. This is his 11th. Ryan Broadley, the ultimate club man. The best player in the 2015 season in the NPL. Ryan Broadley, most consistent every week. 5 goals last season in 2016. James Tassel. And solid at right back. James Tassel for Maitland tonight. We tick over into stoppage time. Wouldn't be too much stoppage time. And Stephen Laurie's watching this first half, you'd think. There's Dylan Holtz. Looking wide. Making the run was McBreen. Could have been away down the left edge. There's Matt Thompson. Now Ryan Broadley. Thompson and Broadley, and now Comerford. And final foray, you'd think, of the opening half. Tassel and Wheeler, shoulder to shoulder, and Tassel goes down. Wheeler finding some space down the left, and Stephen Laurie calls a close to the opening half here at the Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. It was pretty even across the opening 25 minutes, but it was Adam Corley just before the half an hour mark who put Edgeworth ahead. It was a nice finish from him from just on the edge of the box. Half time here at the Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. Edgeworth Eagles 1, Maitland Magpies 0, and we're going to head over to Damien Smith. He's got Daniel McBreen.
Okay, we have Daniel McBreen, Edgeworth's centre midfielder today. We're in the number 2. Made a pretty tight first half, however, taking 1-0 lead to the break. What do you reckon Zane's message is going to be at half time?
I think it's just going to be a bit more patience, keeping the ball. They're sitting in, trying to stifle us, making it hard for them to break down and trying to catch us on the break. And if we give the ball away too easily when we win it back, then we leave ourselves open to the counter-attack. So I think you'll probably say, keep the ball, relax. We're up 1-0. Let's just move it around and try and wait for those opportunities to break them down.
Exactly. It's all about the result, isn't it, at the end of the day? Yeah,
it is. Look, we win this and we're through the round of 32, so we know what we've got to do and try and do it second half.
All right, mate. Good luck for the rest of the half. Yep. Okay, back to you.
All right, we will take a 10-minute break and be back for the second half here at the Regional Football Facility. Edgeworth with the lead over Maitland by a goal to 0. Second half not too far away here at the Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. Welcome back, Edgeworth Eagles leading 1-0 at the break, and Adam Corley goal just before the half-hour mark has the Eagles in front as they look to make the round of 32 for the third year in a row. It's a Northern New South Wales record, that is. Broadmeadow Magic, the only other side to make it through 3 times after their win against Coffs, but they haven't done it 3 years in a row. They missed out last year when they were beaten by Edgeworth in round 4. So there he is, Daniel McBreen, the veteran. Would he like that, Smudge? The veteran?
Yeah, he's been good this year. He's been good for the last, say, 7-8 years. He's getting better with age, like a nice bowl of red, Bart, which you haven't tasted.
I have had some red wine. It's just the taste.
It was a shandy red, probably. Red with a bit of lemonade or something. Watered down. So yeah, he's been brilliant, Daniel McBreen. He's been very good today. Been very busy. Sorry.
Stephen Laurie, I was just going to say, about to get us back underway in the second half, and he does so. And Edgeworth will look to go on with it. Can they do so, Smudge?
Yeah, I think so. They were impressive in the first half. With a deserve it 1-0 lead. Could have been 2 or 3. Trott pulled up some great saves. However, you know what? Edgeworth, Maitland threatened a fair bit in the 18-yard box. There was no real clear-cut chances. But for me, I think if Edgeworth, they stick to their plan, stick to the game plan,
Bazari,
they're going to be hard to beat.
Searching for Aiden Bryce.
As we've said before, they've only conceded 8 goals in 12 NPL games. They're a very tight, well-defensive unit. So Maitland's going to find it very hard to break them down. Provided Edgeworth don't push numbers too forward when they're transitioning from defence to attack, I think they're going to be hard to beat.
And Maitland have shown that they're not all that great in front of goal. They've, in their 11 matches they've played so far, they've only scored 18, and I'll come back to that as Sanders wins the Eagles a corner. So in 11 matches they've scored 18. That's probably not too bad, but in one of those they scored 7. So they've effectively scored 11 goals in 10 matches. So in front of goal, it hasn't been a great season for them. As Josh Evans, well, what a chance that was. At the back post.
Yeah, he just lifted his head as he was going to take the ball. Josh Evans.
Was he a classic defender's shot, that one?
Defender's shot.
The captain.
Josh Evans, another premier defender in the local NPL. He's been a standout in the last 3 years for Edgeworth. Edgeworth's captain, leads by example. Probably the first person picked every week if he's available.
Yeah, he's played in the NSL for the Brisbane Strikers. Only the one game, 2003-4. And he was a state league winner in Queensland in 2005 with Pine Rivers. As Maitland to break forward there. Edgeworth's defence up to the task, as it has been a lot this season.
And again, Edgeworth's ball movement's brilliant. It's just 1-2 touch, and there's Adam Corley.
Bursting through, Adam Corley. Well, maybe if he took a little more time there, he probably had a bit more time than what he thought.
And what he does well is those forward runs beyond the back four of the opposition. He's hard to track. Always tends to find space in those pockets as well.
You can see Josh Dutton-Black and Matt Comerford actually switched sides. So the first half, Comerford was on the right on our side. Now he's on the left. Dutton-Black on the left in the first half, and now on the right for Maitland. Interesting there.
Comerford's another one who likes to tuck in as well. He's a right footer, so he gets the ball out wide, loves to tuck in and try and have a shot at goal.
Liam Thornton finds Comerford. He tries to chip it over the top and through and past Aiden Bryce. It didn't work as well as he would have liked. Matt Thompson to Cairnsdale Sheriff. Those two played juniors together, actually, Campbelltown. Shane Cairnsdale Sheriff and Matt Thompson. 17 seasons in Europe for Shane Cairnsdale Sheriff and over 400 matches.
That's amazing, isn't it?
That is a record and a half. Denmark, England.
The thing is, the more matches you play, the more your body gets used to it, and they're used to the physicality of it, and the 5 nights a week training, etc., plus games on weekends. your 40-odd games per year.
He also played for Burton Albion in the United Kingdom. In the UK, they actually are the side that Jackson Irvine plays for. They're in the Championship. He was there when they moved from League 2 to League 1. As Brodie Taylor tries to beat the man we were just talking about, Kensdale Sheriff. Doing some coaching on the Central Coast now. And Lamb Thornton, he's going to have to distribute this quickly. And
full credit to Brodie Taylor. He has
was that pressure, wasn't it?
50 yards to put pressure on that ball between 3 players.
Bazzari. Past a couple, and there's the free kick for Edgeworth.
Don Bazzari is one of the premier defenders as well, especially that left side fullback. However, in this deep role, just sitting in front of the 4, I think he's brilliant. He's like an unsung hero there.
Probably his best position.
I love him there. He's not flashy, just gets a touch and plays, and he's a great, solid defender. Just sitting in front of that back 4.
So Kieran Sanders. Why wouldn't you want him on the free kick duty? It's going to just be the goal kick. Aidan Bryce, the last man to touch it. There he is. Played rugby league until he was under 12. So that's the impressive thing. Developing his touch. You know, rugby league players normally, when they come to football, don't have a very good touch, do they, Smudge? Ball on the ground.
I went to school with young Joey Johns, Andrew Johns, and he was in our soccer team as well at school. So he was actually a pretty good soccer player.
Well, there you go. Matt's
so there
right.
is the select few.
Well, it's sort of the select few that are...
Oh!
Here's the header, and Maitland. Well, it's been headed wide. What an opportunity that was, just out of nowhere. And Jai McKellar couldn't keep his header on target. And if he did, it was going to be 1-1. It just ricocheted. And
Aidan Bryce. Great opportunity for Maitland. They won't get too many opportunities. That was a great opportunity. He even could have had a touch, went around the goalkeeper, because the keeper was stranded. He was out of his line by, he was outside the penalty spot.
Josh Evans back to Cavalier. Maybe I'm being a bit unfair on rugby league players, Smudge.
I only can name one, but...
Well, you know, some people are very naturally gifted at a lot of sports, aren't they? And I'm sure Joey Johns...
He was in the school cricket side as well, the badminton side.
He would have been
Tampin
probably
bowling
good at
side.
tennis.
He was in every
well.
side, yeah.
Yeah. There's Holtz. Looks infield for Sanders. It's Comerford. Chips forward. And Cavalier. Zach Hill to Thompson. Now for Thornton. To his brother Lamb. Lamb Thornton, they both played at Western together. This man, Matt Comerford, spent some time at Broadmeadow Magic with you, Smudge. Was he there when you were there?
No, he was with Robert Virgili.
Robert Virgili.
Yeah, that was the season I finished up. Oh, great run, great ball. Oh.
Chips it over the top. And Sanders just beaten by the pace of the ball there.
And again, we're saying balls need to be in the feet. Great ball by McBreen, however, you know it's going to skid on, so balls have to go into the feet. So you probably want Sanders to go forward, then check back, get the ball to his feet, and bring his midfielders into play there.
And at Jack McLaughlin Oval, it was probably a perfect ball,
Perfect
wasn't
ball,
it?
yeah, it would have held up.
The home of the Eagles, as Dylan Holtz, well, he's run into Aidan Bryce there. And somehow they've won the throw out of it all. It's come off Liam Thornton last. And Edgeworth just so comfortable. So comfortable in this match, and that chance for Jai McKellar. Now Matt Thompson finds some space. Here is Jai McKellar's chance. And Nate Cavalier is up to the task.
That's 2 chances Maitland's had in the last few minutes. Edgeworth just getting a bit complacent here. I've noticed Edgeworth's back 4 have dropped a little bit deeper, which is...
There's Aidan Bryce. I thought he was going to get the ball in the head there. We're just... that
was straight at us. Yeah.
If we're at any other ground, I think we would have had a bit of a headache both
I
of us.
ducked.
That came cannoning into the side fence.
Showing me boxing skills there, just a little weave. Just going back.
I thought you were going to jump in front of me and save me. Was that
Not you, no, not you, Bart. I'll do it for Chris Turner. Two great opportunities for Maitland. We said before, they're only going to get limited opportunities. They need to make them count.
And they looked so comfortable, didn't they, Smudge? They looked
Edgeworth
so
did,
comfortable,
yeah, they
Edgeworth,
did.
until Jai McKellar's chance, and all of a sudden,
They've had two.
they've just got the jitters.
Well, there's so much at stake, Bart, in this, again, great little...
Here is Jai McKellar, threading it through broadly, and Cavalier gets maybe the bottom of his boot to it.
Yeah,
was
great save by
right
Cavalier.
on the edge of his boot, and I wonder if he didn't get the save, was it going to just slide outside the near post, or was it going to creep inside?
Yeah, unsure. But there, John McKellar just came off the back four. One of the defenders had to track him. He was able to turn, play the ball forward. A little bit out of sorts at the moment. A great run by Justin Brawley from deep.
Brawley. Yeah, I think
And
it
he's
was.
got Cumberford on the left-hand side free. A little bit out of sorts the last 5 minutes, Edgeworth, which is unlike them.
And it's not a good period for them to be out of sorts either, because after the break, you can't have a chat to your side. Can't get them ready and raring to go again. Damien Zane, he said his final words to them. And they've got to go out and do the business as they turn the ball over again. And Matt Thompson is having a field day now. He's come to terms with his pitch a little more so than he was
That's where Cumberford...
as in the first half, as Cumberford has gone over the line.
Just on Pat Wheeler there, his positional play was absolutely superb. Or is that Josh Evans. Positional play on Cumberford was absolutely superb.
Here is Josh Evans. And now McBreen. Some space in the centre circle. He was going to play for the foul, and they were allowing McBreen to run. And on this surface, Kieran Sanders has done very well to keep that ball in, but in the end it breaks down.
The thing with Maitland at the moment, they have to be careful bombing forward because there's a long way to go. Yeah, I think if they concede another goal to Edgeworth,
It's all over.
It'd be very, very difficult. Because even just in that phase before, when McBreen picked up the ball free in the middle of the park, they had numbers forward, so they nearly got caught out the back. They just need to be a little bit careful, Maitland.
It's Maitland's best season in the FFA Cup. The previous years, they haven't done too well.
And again, another turnover.
Thompson
Oh, another simple turnover for
Well,
Edgeworth. Puts him under pressure.
wouldn't have tickled Matt Thompson.
He's got the headgear on, so...
Bit of added protection, this one to Cavalier. Here, the first season of the FFA Cup, 2014, they went out in round one to South Cardiff in a penalty shootout, 6-5. That was back when they were in the new FM division. And South Cardiff actually went all the way to make it to the round of 32 that year. They were knocked out by South Springvale, the side from about the 4th or 5th tier from Victorian football. It was an embarrassing night for Northern New South Wales that evening.
Can you recall that, or have you got that written down?
I can recall it.
That's amazing.
I haven't gotten written down that one. Yes, I do remember that. It was an embarrassing evening. I wasn't calling that year, but no, I do remember that. This one chipped
And
forward.
again, their turnovers unlocked.
Here's Thompson and
Pat Wheeler again. Yeah. Last five or so minutes, Edgeworth, the turnover is just a little bit too high. Damien Zay would not like that.
Here is Holtz, and now McBreen. That
Great
was the
strike.
chance to seal it. Very well blocked at the back by Maitland.
Yeah, great strike by McBreen.
I think it was Liam Thornton with the block. That wouldn't have tickled on his left knee. 2015, Maitland went out in round 5. Round 4, I should say. They lost to Charlestown 3-2 as we see Lockie Pasquale coming on to the park. I'll just ask you tactically what they're going to do here, Smudge, in a sec. And then last season, Maitland went out in round 4 to the Rosebud. So they haven't had a great record on the FFA Cup. They've played 8, won 5, lost 3, but they'd only won 2 of their 5 matches before 2017. They've won 3 this year, so it was not a great competition for them, the Magpies. They've taken it up They've done well this year.
Yeah, so Damien Zane's probably just reassuring his back line here at the moment.
There's John McKellar. Almost on the outside of Pat Wheeler.
Yeah, he's taken Aaron McLaughlin off the left fullback. Bring on Lachlan Pasquale. Swapped him with Don Bazzari in the deep in the midfield and brought Don Bazzari back to left fullback. Therefore, Pasquale's just playing in front of the top four, which he's very good at. And he's, however, I think he just wants to shore up the defence because they've just got him behind a little bit, Maitland. Bringing Don Bazzari back because Don Bazzari is an excellent left fullback, and we picked him in our side of the first round. Don Bazzari at left fullback of the NPL.
Daniel McBrain, pirouettes, and now chips forward. Speed of Adam Corley. He was looking to use that to his advantage, but the ball was a little too quick, and Matt Trott takes it. I just had a look at the score, Australia-Brazil. Brazil scored after 1 minute in the friendly at the moment.
1 minute?
You start to get nervous after that result. I think it was back in 2013, end of 2013, when Holger Osek got the
against Germany,
or 2014. No, they lost 6-0 to Brazil and 6-0 to France.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Holger Osek lost his job. So let's hope the Socceroos can put on a better performance tonight at the MCG.
Just quickly with the Socceroos, the 3-4-3 for me, I don't like the balance of it at the moment with the Socceroos. It does worry me. But Ange is very confident in it, so...
Matt Comerford. Yeah, well, hopefully they can perform all right tonight. But I tell you what, they were jittery last week, weren't they, Smudge?
Yeah,
very jittery against Saudi Arabia.
Saudis were very good. I thought technique-wise, Saudis were just above, a class above.
This one called past the back post.
Yeah, class above the Socceroos. But with Ange, with his 3-4-3, he loves his wing-backs getting forward. Loves them both getting forward. So there's so much space in behind. And that's where the Saudis were exploiting and had quite a few good opportunities. If you're playing I prefer like a 5-3-2 more so than a 3-4-3. But in saying Ange is the Socceroo coach, so...
Yeah, exactly.
And he's done, you know, you can't...
They haven't lost a game in qualifying yet, so...
Yes, I was about to say that, so...
Brazil won. I'll just check the Facebook comments. Brazil 1-0 up after 11 seconds.
11 seconds. Can we get the replay on here, Bart?
I don't know if we can do that. That's yeah. So there you go.
11 seconds.
It's got to make you nervous, doesn't it?
That's the other thing about the Socceroos. Their back three, or even their formation, their whole defensive unit. It looks like they're going to concede.
I don't know if you remember that. You would remember this. The 2006 World Cup, the match against Croatia, the 2-2 draw.
Harry Kewell scoring.
Harry Kewell scored, but I was about as nervous on Thursday night as I was watching that game when Zelko Kalak was in goals. Do you remember that? That was the most nerve-wracking evening. Morning it was, actually. The 2-2 draw there. You've got
even Gus Hiddink putting Zelko in. Big, risky move.
Thought he was going to have a big game against the Croatians.
Which puts a lot of pressure on Zelko as well. Anyway, back to this game.
Yeah, back to this one. It was just a bit of a lull.
Well, we've got no jokes tonight, Bart, with CT not here, so...
Come forward through Daniel
Great ball by McBrain.
Onto Brodie Taylor. Now for Corley. We'll see just how much that substitution as Evans gets clattered to ground. And the yellow card is out for the first time this evening for Ben Martin, who has also come on for Maitland.
Yeah, looking a bit gingery, Joshy Evans, from that challenge.
It'll be intriguing to see just how much of an impact this change does have. And Ben Martin coming on for Jai McKellar.
To me, they seem a little bit more settled now with Pasquale coming in the deep in the midfield. Don Bazzari going left side.
Ben Martin's a big game player as well for Maitland, so with it only being the one goal, he did score against Edgeworth last year in the semi-final in the second leg as Sanders with the outside of his boot. Holtz. Just too much under it there. And
great ball by Sanders. Probably just a little bit high for Holtz. Elected to curve it on the outside of the foot.
Yeah, Ben Martin was the second leg of the semi-final. Brendan Hamill scored a wonderful free kick in about the opening quarter hour, and then about 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, Ben Martin equalised from ball in, and just a header from close range, just outside the 6-yard box from memory, and of course some problems for Edgeworth again tonight.
Yeah, he's a big lad, the old Ben Martin. Uses his body well, holds the ball up well.
He scored the decisive goal in the 2014 UFM Grand Final. He's played for Edgeworth and Magic in the past. Matt Thompson. Wide for Comerford. Some space opening up all of a sudden in this Edgeworth defence, and Nate Cavalier. It's probably been Edgeworth's best, I'd say, Nate Cavalier. Well, he hasn't had to make... He's probably had... Jai McKellar had a really good chance, and Cavalier dove low to his left, but he's just done the 1%ers.
Does the 1%ers extremely well. There's not many errors in his game. Ooh, the challenge looked a bit rough. Carl Thornton clipped Pasquale. Just let me know he's in a game. He's only just come on, Pasquale.
He's been in and out of the side this season. He was nominated for Rookie of the Year last year. And he was in the Jets youth side, actually, in their mid-season match against Shandong. Clayton Zane just wanted to bring him into the squad to have a look at him last season in that trial win. That was a fun night, wasn't it, Smudge? Trying to remember all the names of the Chinese side.
Sorry, mate, I was daydreaming. I was just thinking about that 11th second goal from Brazil. How that happened.
Yeah, I know. Apparently it wasn't a great moment for Bailey Wright from what I've read. So,
okay.
Edgeworth down the left edge. Don't worry. It's still only 1-0, so...
Great ball.
Daniel McBrain. Well, he's got no one in the middle. Is that poor from Edgeworth? No one in the middle of there, or was it just the way they were?
They probably just weren't expecting it, but McBrain... Oh.
Here it is, McBrain! Across the face.
But where McBrain was...
It has taken a deflection, so on Edgeworth corner.
Where McBrain was very smart, he just crossed that to the penalty area, because normally you got players running in there. However, no one was alert to that. That's where you want your Brody Taylors coming in the penalty area. Sometimes when you can't see where you're crossing, you can picture the penalty area in your head, so you just sort of... You knock it towards there, because you expect one of your players to follow through. Not in that case.
So it will be the goal scorer, Adam Corley. Wasn't a bad corner kick from him, but Maitland dealt with it all right up to this point. The clearance is only as far as Bryce Ikiwi. Now he can hit them from outside the 18. Brad Swancott knows that. He made a great save on Saturday to deny Bryce in the opening quarter hour.
Yeah, scored a few outside the 18-yard box.
Scored a ripper in 2015 against Lambton, Arthur Eden Oval.
What round was it, Bart? Your memory's normally pretty good.
Round 13, maybe.
All right,
around that.
We'll look that up, mate.
Like that, yeah. And then Alex Palozzi for Lambton scored a free kick that was just as good. A few minutes later as Maitland pushed forward. Here is Ben Martin, the big game. Ben Martin and goes down in the box. Maitland appealing for the penalty. Stephen Laurie awarding it to them. They were going down like flies in the box there.
Yeah, Don Bazzaro sort of slid in there. You have to be very careful. Stay on your feet in the box unless you're certain of winning the ball.
This one curled in. Edgeworth, they are a bit nervy.
Here's
Broadley. There's a warning shot from Ryan Broadley. And it's taken a deflection, so it will be a corner from Maitland.
I think you summed up the word. They are a bit nervy, aren't they, Bart? It's unlike Edgeworth to have so many cheap turnovers, especially playing out from the back.
This one curled in. There he is, Nate Cavalier. Johnny on the spot.
Just on the line then too.
Yeah, he was close again. You wouldn't want to give Matt Thompson another chance from close range. He was caught with the ball outside the box in the first half as Aiden Bryce. Here's a chance. Brody Taylor to seal it, you'd sense. And again, Maitland. It was Ryan Broadley putting his body on the line.
Great touch by Brody Taylor.
Lockie Pasquale.
McBrain.
Curling it in. Dylan Holtz crashed into by Liam Thornton it was.
Yeah, good challenge. See, what a smart play McBroom is. He's playing in that number 10 role. It was all congested there, so he just drifted out on the left-hand side to give himself some space. We spoke about Magic the other day. They weren't getting him wide, in wide areas. Some space, and they had about 4 or 5 runners going into the box. Good delivery, but Dylan Holt's unlucky.
Matt Trott. This one will trickle back for Wheeler. Just not out of the woods at all. Edgeworth.
Yeah, I'm sensing Edgeworth need a second goal to feel more comfortable at the moment. They're a little bit nervy, like you said before.
This has been their issue this season. It's been in front of goal. Last season, they're averaging about 3 goals per game. This year in the NPL, they're averaging...
Not even 2.
Yeah, they've scored 20 in their 12 matches. In the FFA Cup, though, it's been a different story. They've scored 18 in 3 as Ben Martin across the face. And somehow Edgeworth, Hayden Bryce, the outside of his boot, able to somehow skew it away from goal. Matt Trott.
We said just after half-time, like, Maitland will get opportunities, but how many they get? But you know what? They've had about 4 pretty good chances to equalise.
So I'll just go through Edgeworth's round 6 and 7 matches here. This raid, and how impressive they've been in front of goal in those over the years. Under Damien Zane. 2015, they defeated Coffs 4-0, Adamstown 3-0 in round 7. In 2016, they took down Urunga 3-0, and then Singleton 7-0. And against the Jaffas in round 6 this year, they beat them 5-0. So they have slaughtered sides in round 6 and 7 of the FFA Cup. So it's a different story this season. Maitland are taking it to them. Only 1 goal, the difference.
To be honest, Edgeworth could have been up by more than 1 goal at half-time, but Maitland's really bounced back in the second half. Maitland got in some great areas in the first half, however, never had too many clear-cut chances. Oh,
They're a big game side, the Magpies. It's those games against lower sides on the ladder that seem to let them down at times.
And to be honest, the longer this stays 1-0, the more chance Maitland have got of equalising. And you sense they're looking a little bit nervy just at the moment, Edgeworth, which is unlike them. And they've had a few cheap turnovers. Here's a change for you, Bart. Adam Corley off, Kigo Moriyasu on. Like
Both
for like.
speedy. Yep, very much a like for like.
So he'll come just left-hand side of the diamond-shaped midfield, Kiego, sorry. Adam Corley's had another good game. He's busy.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful performance from Adam Corley, scoring the goal. Great to have your company wherever you're watching this evening. Edgeworth up against Maitland. Edgeworth, the side that has made it through to the round of 32 for the last 2 seasons from northern New South Wales. Maitland, they've never made it through. And they're taking it to the Eagles, as they did in the semi-finals last season. Ooh. Dylan Holtz. Only 1 goal in that semi-final series on aggregate. Edgeworth going through to the grand final and winning it.
You can remember clearly Maitland had a great opportunity with a few minutes to go to equalise, which...
Laid on. Matt Comerford had a wonderful chance, and Jim Fogarty...
Great save, and that would have got him through. That was virtually at full time. And then Edgeworth go down and score.
Because it was 1-1, and Edgeworth had scored more away goals in the first leg.
Yep.
In the second leg, it was 1-1, and then Moriyasu put the icing on the cake for Edgeworth to get them through.
Right at the
And they were a bit jittery there as well, weren't they, Edgeworth? So they probably had the better of the chances.
Yeah, for sure.
To this point. But as has been the story, they've just been unable to put the ball in the back of the net. It could be an opening.
And again, the ball gets stuck under your feet. You have to keep the ball just in front of you on this surface. Let it... Oh, well played.
Comerford, the outside of his boot to Ben Martin. Just leaves it behind him and he falls over it. He's done that a bit this year, Ben Martin. Had a very nice, graceful fall against Broadmeadow Magic in round 9.
Yeah. Poor Benny.
No one around him.
No one.
Clip of the heels and down he went.
He was away too.
He was away. It is called in. Great ball, the call from the Maitland bench. And another corner for them.
I probably want Sutton Black to...
Dutton
Black, sorry, to, to be coming into that back stick a lot quicker.
He could be the key for them. He's yet to score in the NPL, but scored once for...
Which is really surprising for me. He's been so many great opportunities.
Yeah, once in the FFA Cup for the Magpies. Here is Comerford. And Comerford again. He can hit a ball on this occasion. Blocked the first time and then wide on the second.
Maitland slowly getting close to this goal, aren't they, Bart?
And Edgeworth just sitting a little deeper and allowing...
That's right.
Allowing the Magpies to come at them.
And a few more turnovers there, which is, like I've said, it's unlike them. However, they've got the experienced players like Josh Evans at the back, McBreen in the centre of the park, Sanders up the front. They just need to settle the boys down a little bit, get back into their usual patterns of play.
And Dutton Black creates some space with a 1-2, but Pat Wheeler awake to it for the Eagles at the back, and Aidan Bryce. Well, that's straight down the middle of the park, and for Carl Thornton, that was easy pickings. Brought down by Evans. Stephen Laurie happy to play on. Broadly for Thornton. They've got great camaraderie, this Maitland side, don't they, Smudge?
Oh, they sure do. They're all good mates on and off the park. And have been for years. They've been mates all the way through.
Starting away is Comerford.
It's well played by Maitland.
And look at the speed of Matt Comerford to run that one down. Bryce and Comerford shoulder to shoulder.
Maitland knocking the ball around really well at the moment. I think Edgeworth need to start putting a bit more pressure on the ball.
And their confidence is high. They are difficult to stop. Reece Thompson, Maitland's assistant, just about to ready another substitute for the Eagles. For the Magpies, I should say. There's McBreen for Holtz. Now for Bryce. The remaining substitute, they've got Sam Rossi, Jordan Elphick, Luke Jennings, the backup keeper, and Lachlan Yates on the bench. Bit of pressure here from Edgeworth as Moriyasu wins the ball back. Taylor now for Sanders. Sanders on the turn. And he just curls it past the back post. Looked to be on target, and then it just bent away from goal.
That's a Spinky turn. We're talking about Warren Spink. He turns on a dime. Just drag the ball a little bit across his body.
I'd be disappointed he didn't hit the target as well.
That's well played. Look at this turn. Great turn.
But it's Trott's goalkeeping as well, isn't it? Look at that. Matt Trott probably had that covered. You see by the dive there.
If he had his chance again, you'd probably go near stick. Try bend it around Trott near stick.
So Maitland, their second change. I believe it's Lachlan Yates who has come onto the ground in 17. Just get that confirmed as this one up and over the top for Edgeworth. 17, Moriyasu. Cansdale Sheriff at the back.
I'm not sure if it's a positional change. Kiego Moriyasu has moved up front. Brody Taylor's just moved back on the left side of midfield.
Dutton Black chipping infield. Dylan Holtz. And McBreen. Space aplenty down the right for Daniel McBreen and Moriyasu. And this one inside.
Great ball by McBreen, right across the face of the goals. Was a tough one for Trott to come out for. They break very well. They transition really quick, Edgeworth. Well defended.
It's Jordan Elphick, I'm sorry, that's come on for Maitland in 2. This one curled in and Matt Trott strong in the air again. And here is Elphick after it. Jordan Elphick, he has quite a story. 3 ACL repairs he's had. Also in his 11th season at the club, along with Broadley.
Just had Chris Bowling come past.
There's a story in that, isn't it?
Yeah. Many stories in that.
No, well, one in particular that I can think of, the
FFA Cup.
2014 FFA Cup,
Yes.
Broadmeadow Magic. The opening match, actually, the FFA Cup, is Kieran Sanders
Against the Brisbane Strikers.
against the Strikers. That was the first match ever telecast on Fox Sports in the round of 32. And I tell you what, they got some action that night. 2 red cards. 2-1 Magic went down in extra time. There's Brodie Taylor. Taylor's shot just wide of goal.
He's been outstanding goalkeeper, Chris Bowling, in the local MPL.
He's coaching the Jets, Jets
emerging
women.
Jets.
He's their goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper coach. He went to the World Cup with the women's Australian side as a goalkeeper coach and football analysis or some sort of technical role. Video analysis.
It's not bad. That was in Canada. That was actually
right.
played on synthetic pitches, that tournament. The women not too happy about that at all. They're saying if it was a men's World Cup, they would never have played it on synthetic, and I tend to agree with that. As here is Brodie Taylor chipping it forward. Taylor. It was played on synthetic because in Canada, with the weather changes.
Well, Bart, your story's wrong, mate. It was in Brazil and it was the Olympic Games, so you're close.
Olympic Games. No, well, no. You said with the Women's World Cup, so I just went on the story about the Women's World Cup.
We've been corrected by the man himself.
There you go. So it was in Brazil.
In Brazil,
the Women's World Cup. For the it was. It is effectively a World Cup, the Olympic competition. The men's is an under-23s from memory.
The Olympics, yeah.
Yeah, and the
with overage players.
Yep. And the girls got knocked out by Brazil as Thompson. Now James Tassel. Wide for Dutton Black. Steps inside off his left and back for Broadley. We're into the final 10 now. Tassel again. Infield and didn't get the elevation he would have liked to get it over the right boot of Josh Evans, who quickly, it was the man that killed them off last year, Kigo Moriyasu, in the semi-finals. Here is Evans bombing forward. Wide for Sanders. Should say Taylor. And now for Evans. Evans! That was better from Josh Evans. He missed from point-blank range at the start of the second half and didn't miss by much there.
Yeah, that's twice. He's done the Ned Zelic sort of coming forward on the ball. Probably the most chances Josh Evans has had in a game today. 2.
Dylan Holtz. I haven't seen him have that many shots in a game before. As Kieran Sanders, that was a lovely ball for him, and he steps inside, squares it up, and Matt Trott is there again.
McBreen coming in back on the penalty spot.
He'd probably have his time over there and cut that back a little more. Sort of straight across goal, and Matt Trott got the arm out, and Josh Evans. Well, Josh Dutton Black did well there too. Ensure that it was only a throw and not the goal kick for Edgeworth.
Yeah, Josh Evans did brilliantly then. Just used his body in front of Dutton Black. Been an entertaining game, Bart.
Very much so.
Quite a few chances for both sides.
Always very entertaining when it's tight, isn't it? It's Moriyasu now.
And especially
Wide he goes.
Especially in a cup game when it's
Bizarri and Kieran Sanders just offside.
Yeah, especially in a cup game when the result matters. It's not about the 3 points or the 1 point.
And that's probably the best
or the
thing
goal
about
difference.
the cup games.
It's about the result.
There's no playing for draws here.
Nope.
That's why you'll probably see Maitland. I'll be pushing players forward here.
Yeah, 5 to go. I'll be definitely starting to push players forward. But not too many. You don't want to concede because you can score in the last second to tie it up. He's offside.
And Ben Martin just creeping offside. There he is, Phil Dando. He'll only be at Maitland for this season.
He's going travelling next year with his lovely wife. She's just retired, he's telling us. Former KB United goalkeeper.
What's Reece Thompson doing on the bench there, just to his left? He had his phone out. He was doing a live stream. Trying to steal some views off us. from the Maitland bench. Yeah, Phil Dando just helping them out this year. They were struggling after Dean Heffernan. He was the player coach, but he just got a little busy pre-season. The former Western Sydney Wanderers player and Mariner, Dean Heffernan, as Sanders just to curl it inside the back post.
He's just on Phil Dando. He's really enjoyed his time sitting on the sideline, been involved in football again. Even though he's been with the ABC doing the Jets games, covering the Jets games, but it's good to be live on the sideline.
He's actually retired from that with Aaron Carney. They've been doing it for an age, those two. So Aaron will be with another local identity next year. I'm not sure who it is. He's still in Holtz. Maybe Chris Bowling. Daniel McBrain. There's plenty on offer, isn't there?
Oh, for sure. Well,
Matt Trott.
That was nice and calm by Matt Trott.
Yeah, under pressure from Moriasu, and there was two players there surging down towards Zach Hill, and gets away with it because it's a fast pitch and beats them all over the line. So 5 minutes now left to go in regulation time. Edgeworth, still that Adam Corley goal. I don't see Aidan Gardner just warming up there with the bright yellow over on the far pitch.
I don't want to give Edgeworth the commentator's curse, but they're very good at closing out games, as we know, Bart. With 5 to go.
I'm just waiting for it, Smudge.
Oh no, I don't want to curse it, but they're very workmanlike at closing out games.
Trickles back towards the sideline, but Maitland have kept it inside the line.
They're quite deep at the moment, Edgeworth.
Tassel chipping it forward, and Maitland have had their chances. Evans, well, a little miscued. Got to be hoofed away, and here's Comerford. Oh. And Ben Martin, well, he couldn't have asked for a better opportunity in the final 5.
He just
was coming fast, wasn't it?
Like to see that again.
Gets a little deflection on it, and Nate Cavalier has probably no chance. The ball coming at that pace. Here it was, fired out of the cannon. Ooh. Tough to keep down.
It was skidding on quite quick. At an awkward height as well.
Still only 1-0 Australia and Brazil, so after
11 seconds.
11 second.
Oh, great ball by Sanders.
And Moriasu. He's got the tall timber of McBrain in the middle, but not even he could get up and nod that one towards goal. So Matt Trott. Makes sense it'll be route 1 from him. Well, they go for Dutton Black. That's the face. They go Maitland. Thornton. Broadley.
I will say, Bart, Maitland's been very good tonight.
Broadley.
They've really taken the game to Edgeworth.
Much better than they were on Saturday night against Byron Bay.
For sure.
Looked a little sluggish in that one.
Depending on the result, they'll take confidence going into this week's game. Who do they play with this week again?
They're up against the Jets Youth.
The Jets Youth.
In the NPL. As Sanders brought to ground. So less than 2.5 minutes now. Stoppage time, Smudge, you're thinking 3?
3 max, I think, but
there hasn't been
virtually any injuries, just mainly substitutions.
Yep.
Oh, nice touch.
Aidan Bryce tries to take on Tassel. He comes back and dispossesses him, and now he's out of position. Bryce, he got taken down by Tassel, and he lashes out Bryce. And he could be lucky here to stay on the ground.
Yeah, I think he's in trouble.
It was silly stuff. It was silly from Aidan Bryce. Now, Tassel body checked him, I think. It was off the ball. And I just sort of
retaliated.
And Aidan Bryce retaliated. And Stephen Laurie goes to the back pocket. And what does he say? It's red in colour. There's a little more drama to come in the FFA Cup tonight.
He knows it too, Aidan Bryce. Didn't argue the toss. He just walked straight off.
It was just one of those moments where he saw red after Tassel bumped him, and he has seen red now, Aiden Bryce. And he's going to go straight out the gate.
Yeah, a bit of frustration by Adam Bryce. A little bit silly. If he had his time again, he would obviously not do that.
His second red of the season. He was sent off in round 1 against Broadmeadow Magic, although that wasn't for lashing out. That was blocking a goal with his hand. Accidentally.
Yeah, he fell on the ball, virtually on the goal line.
And it was accidentally because, you know, you can block goals on purpose, as Luis Suarez did in the 2010 World Cup. But, no, that one was accidental.
And he did not even question the referee's decision then.
Matt Trotton, probably disappointing for Damien Zane. Moment. You'll want to forget Aiden Bryce, but they might just fire up Edgeworth as well as Daniel McBrain.
McBrain's being smart here, just wasting time, gets the foul.
And
silly challenge,
very well officiated from Stephen Lawrence. I don't think he saw it, went to his assistant.
Well, Stephen Lawrence was already forward where the ball was. Daniel McBrain, that was superb. Experienced play then. McBrain will go to the corner, you watch.
Here's Sanders. McBrain, there he is, straight to the corner. Cansdale Sheriff. Thought it would be a foul, but Sanders, we're into stoppage time now. In they come. Tassel comes across and dispossesses him. So the Eagles only with 10 men on the park for the last moments of this one.
Yeah, probably 2 minutes, 3 minutes or so.
It'll be more if Maitland can find an equaliser. Sanders and Taylor unable to keep it moving forward there for Edgeworth.
Great.
The header towards Broadley. Here's Dutton Black diving in. Now Evans could be in trouble here. He's going in for a yellow card, the Eagles skipper.
Yeah, silly challenge by Evans. He could have just held his ground.
Well, here we go.
This is interesting.
Dutton Black.
One thing Edgeworth do not want this to go to extra time with 10 players.
And that decision from Aiden Bryce to retaliate will look even worse if they do go into extra time. So Josh Dutton Black goes quiet around the regional football facility. Very quiet. Dutton Black curls it in. Was straight towards the near post and headed away by the Eagles. And here's a chance for them to break with Maitland all pushing forward. Pasquale over the top for Bazzari. And Matt Trott was forward as well. And he sprays it wide. Well,
John Bazzari had the right idea that he was going for goal because he knew Trott was out of his goal, but he just skewed off his boot. But it's gone for a goal kick, which allows them to get back in their defensive structure, sit a little bit deeper, and compose themselves for the last, 1.5 minutes or so.
So Cansdale Sheriff chips it up the line. And in there again. It was this time Pat Wheeler with the toe. So
a few nervy moments for Edgeworth.
Maybe an extra minute of stoppage time with the red card. It's Maxwell who's now come onto the ground for the Eagles. Goes infield for McBrain. This goes with the outside of his boot towards Sanders, but Cansdale Sheriff.
Yeah, he did very well.
Read it well.
Yep.
Thompson.
Edgeworth very deep here.
Across for Tassel. It's all hands to the pump for the Eagles. The header away.
Great header by Sam Maxwell. If he meant that, straight back to the goalkeeper.
I don't know how much he knew about it, but
if he meant that, that was...
As Thornton gets involved on the goal kick, and that is an automatic foul, I believe.
Now Edgeworth can really soak up the time, waste seconds here. I suppose Carl Thornton was desperate. Nate be going to the corners here. McBrain's calling for it into the corner.
Cavalier, does he look towards McBrain? Here's a little bit more time wasting from Cavalier.
If you go for the corners, McBrain will nod it on, but that's game.
Stephen Laurie says that will do, and the Eagles soar into the round of 32 once more for a record third consecutive year. Edgeworth will fly the flag for Northern New South Wales in the Westfield FFA Cup. And you can't say after the draw they've had, they don't deserve to be there. They were given the toughest of draws, Hamilton followed by Lambton, and tonight Maitland. But as they have shown in the past, the Eagles step up when the cup is on And this year was no different. The Magpies will have to regroup and focus back on the NPL, where they sit 5th and have some tough weeks ahead. But with Mick Bolch heading to the Hunter Valley next season, expect them to push high for higher honours in the Cup next season. So full time here at the Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. Edgeworth Eagles 1, Maitland Magpies 0, and Smudge will try and have a chat to Damien Zane, the Edgeworth
in
coach.
the sheds, hopefully.
We might head into the sheds as well, but you sense it a little subdued because it was it was a nervy performance from Edgeworth. They're through.
Unsure. Zane's priority at the start of the season was to make the round of 32 in the FFA Cup, and they've done it. That's his first goal of the season, and probably his number 1 priority goal. But just on Maitland, better performance from Maitland today. They'll take a lot of confidence going into the NPL for the rest of the season.
And Zane highly respects Maitland as well. He sees them as a huge dark force. Dark Force, there you go. Star Wars is out. A dark horse, and they've shown tonight again that they can turn up and really play in these big matches as the sides head off the park. And Smudge is going to duck around and see if can grab a chat with Damien in the dressing sheds. So Broadmeadow Magic and Edgeworth through to the round of 32. Again, they were the 2 sides from Northern New South Wales in 2015. And that was the same year that Edgeworth were beaten by Melbourne City in the round of 32. Magic went out to Heidelberg that year. In the previous year, it was 2014, and South Cardiff going out to South Springvale, and Broadmeadow out to the Strikers. And then last season, the Lambton Jaffers were the side, along with Edgeworth, to go through. Edgeworth making it to the round of 16, where they were ultimately beaten by Western Sydney Wanderers 5-1, and Lambton went down to Devonport. So it'll be Magic and Edgeworth. Maitland will have another season before they can have another shot at going through to the nationwide stage of the Westwood FFA Cup. But they did themselves proud tonight. Looking to be the first side from the Hunter Valley to do so. And we'll duck into the shed. So Adam Corley with the goal tonight. 2 goals in the NPL and now 2 in the FFA Cup. And all 4 have come in his last 3 matches. So he's definitely in a hot run of form at the moment. A purple patch, you could say, for the former Jets youth player Adam Corley. Edgeworth just getting ready for the song. Just having a look at the friendly, Brazil and Australia. Brazil still with a 1-0 lead from the first 11 seconds, I believe, just before half-time in that one. So we'll wrap this one up and let you get on to watching that one this evening. And that round of 32 draw just a few weeks away now, as all the different federations wrap it all up. Looks like Edgeworth are close to being ready in the sheds. So straight after their team song, it'll be Damien Zane with Damien Smith.
We formed an institution called the Edgeworth Soccer Club. We proudly wear the red and black to meet our every foe. We are the boys that never fight. Edgeworth Eagles are forever. Edgeworth Eagles are forever. Edgeworth Eagles are forever.
Okay, we have Damien Zane, head coach of Edgeworth Eagles. Damien, you said to me at the start of the season, your number one priority this year was make the round of 32 because it's on the national stage. Congratulations, mate, on the win today. I know you weren't happy about the second half, but what were your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, you got to remember it was a, we
So we didn't realise we were
full-time entertainment. Yeah, mate, the first half was good. We could have, scored a couple. Second half, a bit disappointing. But, yeah, at the end of the day, a lot of people talk about good football, this and that. At the end of the day, it's about winning and losing once you get to first grade, so we won.
We said that on the call. Today was all about the result, virtually. In the end, it's all about the result making the round of 32. First half, I thought you could have went up by more than one goal at half time. You played some really good stuff, good movement off the ball, good rotation in midfield. But second half, you looked a little bit nervy, which is unlike Edgeworth. Bit of soft turnover from the through the midfield, through the back line, which caused a few problems for you.
Yeah, I wasn't particularly that happy with the first. I thought we were better than them, but there was a lot to improve. I thought we were unlike ourselves. We just little errors, just basic errors, with shape or with the ball, with our runs, and it was a bit unlike us. And the second half, we were probably lucky in the end to get out. And I mean, just a send off, that's unlike us. So it was a bit disappointing in the end.
Yeah, a little bit of frustration from Maitland and Bryce, but mate. Smile, you're in the round of 32, mate. That's very exciting. What does that mean for the club?
Everything. The last two seasons you've seen what it's brought us, and when we first started in it, I think we had about 300 likes on Facebook, and now we've got 2,500. So the exposure we've had has been great, and hopefully I'll have to find a right back in the next month.
So just on that, the last two seasons, you've drawn a A-League side, Melbourne City, and the Wanderers last year. What are your thoughts? Would you like to draw another A-League side or another NPL side?
No, we want an NPL team at home, and we'll take it out to Edgy and introduce them to Jack McLaughlin Oval, mate. So that's what we want. We think we've got a team that can win a game or two. We showed that last year, and so we want a winnable game, and then we'll think about an A-League team down the track.
Okay, mate, congratulations. Smile, you're in the round of 32, mate.
I'm trying.
All right, mate, congratulations. Okay, and good luck.
All right, Smudge, we'll wrap it up. It's probably the most subdued team song. I was watching it on the monitor from outside from Edgeworth, and you can tell we're a little disappointed with tonight.
Yeah, I think they're more disappointed in their second half. Like Damien Zane said, it just thought it was unlike an Edgeworth side. Bit of turnover. The movement wasn't as fluent as usual. But you know what? They made the round of 32, and I'll be smiling if I was Damien Zane and Edgeworth.
Exactly. Well, Saturday we will be out at Carl Oval. First time the match of the round is at Carl Oval, and Valentine, the home side, they're taking on Magic. What are your thoughts on that one before we go?
Magic beat Valentine, who were under strength in the the sixth round of the FFA Cup just on Saturday. Magic are desperate. They need the result. I think Magic might overhaul Valentine. However, Valentine's in some form. They've got the momentum. They're second on the table. So I'm going to tip Magic.
All right, Smudge. Well, it'll be a good contest on Saturday. So until then, 2:30 p.m. We'll catch you then full time in the FFA Cup round 7. It was Edgeworth Eagles 1, Maitland Magpies 0.